Subscribe, hype, like, click the notification bell and turn on all notifications. And donate with a super thanks donation in the comments section below for the unfiltered, unapologetic SeanzViewEnt, your home for WWE news, rumors, and backstage chaos. This is where gossip gets exposed around the clock. Now, here's your host, the brash SeanzViewEnt.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to SeanzViewEnt. Before we get into today's video, as always, everything we talk about on this channel is based on rumors, reports, and speculation. We are covering an unreal sport, and I always want to be upfront with you about that. Now, I didn't think I would be making another video today. I've made 2 videos already, ladies and gentlemen. Another release video this soon, but we talked about it all week, how there was, and I hate to say I told you so. I hate to say that I was right. But I've been covering all week long that there were going to be more releases and that there were rumored names. And now it has went down. It has happened. It has transpired. Sadly, unfortunately, and untimely. Here we are. The New Day gone. Kofi Kingston released. Xavier Woods deleted. They have officially parted ways with the WWE. And I'm not going to lie to you. This one hurts very different. We just got done talking about 23 releases after WrestleMania. The Wyatt Six, Aleister Black, Zelina Vega, Kairi Sane, Motor City Machine Guns. And now today we find out that Kofi and Woods are going too. Plus Tonga Loa and JC Mateo from MFT. It just keeps coming. And then we just received word that another former WWE star, former tag team champion, Trevor Murdoch, has announced his retirement from the professional wrestling business. We all remember the team of Lance Cade and Trevor Murdoch on Monday Night Raw. But here's the part of the story that really matters. According to Sean Ross Sapp from Fightful and Corey from Body Slam, this is called a mutual decision on the part of the New Day. But Bryan Alvarez from the Wrestling Observer gave us a little bit more details. He's saying that their contracts were not up. TKO asked Woods and Xavier, Kofi and Woods to restructure their contracts, their existing deals that they just signed last year. Reportedly, multi-year 7-figure contracts that would run them into 2030. TKO came to them and basically said, we want you to take new deals on our terms. Kofi and Woods looked at those deals, didn't like what was being offered, and said, no thanks. So they asked for their release, and the WWE granted it. Both men are now under a 90-day non-complete clause. That means the earliest that we could see them wrestle somewhere else is around late July, early August, and already there are reports that AEW names, including MJF, FTR's Cash Wheeler, and others are publicly pushing for them to come over. The Young Bucks versus the New Day has been a dream match people have wanted for years, and now it could actually happen. But let's not skip past this. Kofi Kingston signed with the WWE in 2006. You got that right, guys. 2006 was the year before I graduated high school. That's 20 years for Kofi Kingston in World Wrestling Entertainment. Xavier Woods has been there since 2010. Together with Big E, they formed the New Day in 2014 and became 13-time tag team champions. Kofi had his Kofi Mania moment, which I was at WrestleMania 35, where he won the WWE Championship. These are future Hall of Famers, and this is how it ends, guys. Not with a big farewell, not with a final match, but with a contract dispute behind closed doors. That tells you everything that you need to know about TKO's priorities right now. But let's shift gears to something completely different and actually might be even more drastic and more important right now. And honestly, I still can't believe what I watched on Smackdown last night. Are we going to witness the end, the cancellation, the shutdown of Smackdown on the USA Network? Fans are calling for it. Fans have seen enough of it. Sami Zayn came out to the ring with a gingerbread man costume set up in the middle of it. Now, for context, the whole gingerbread thing started a couple of weeks ago when Trick Williams, who had the United States title celebration, a mystery person in a gingerbread costume attacked Trick from behind with a giant candy cane, turned on and then unmasked as Sami Zayn. Last week, Zayn dressed up as the Gingerbread Man and jumped Trick again. So this week, Zayn comes out with a costume just standing in the ring. He cuts this promo comparing himself to Bob Dylan, talking about how when Dylan went electric, everybody booed him, and he's going through the same thing. Then he snaps. He low blows the gingerbread costume. He punches it. He rips the arm off it. He tears the whole thing apart. Then Trick Williams' music hits. He runs down, chases Zayn off into the crowd. And then Trick drops to his knees to the destroyed costume and throws up the X sign like it's a real injury. Medical staff comes out. They treat the costume. Then backstage, a doctor comes out of a medical room and tells Trick that the Gingerbread Man has passed away. He didn't make it. WWE then ran in a memoriam graphic with sad music. A Gingerbread Man funeral is actually booked for next week on SmackDown. Now, I want to hit you with this for 1 second, guys. It's not just me saying that this is bizarre. The wrestling media was not too kind to this segment. Wrestling Inc. flat out said the Gingerbread bit has been dragged way too far and called it ridiculous, especially for a feud that's supposed to be about a championship. Bleacher Report said the whole thing was overstayed and it's welcome and that they need to focus more on the wrestling and less on silly costumes if they want to get this feud back on track. And Cageside Seats called it one of WWE's most bizarre angles ever and asked their readers what in the world is even happening. Now, look, I want to be fair here. Sami Zayn is one of the best performers in the entire industry. He can make almost anything work. And Trick Williams is a guy WWE's clearly building as a future main eventer. But this Gingerbread angle is the kind of thing that makes people change the channel. It's a United States Championship feud built around a costume and a funeral on a 3-hour show that's already struggling with pacing. Now, that is where it gets really interesting because it connects to something much bigger. Now, I want you to think about this one from the USA Network's perspective for a second. You're paying WWE a lot of money for SmackDown. This is one of the biggest shows on your entire network, and right now, here's what's happening on the product you're paying for. SmackDown ratings have been on a downward trend. The April 24th episode drew a 1.267 million viewers with a 0.32 in the 18 to 49 demographic. That's down 20% from the week before. Earlier in the year, the show actually dipped below 1 million viewers on 2 occasions. For context, when SmackDown was on Fox, it was doing 2.1 to 2.6 million regularly. Now on USA, it's averaging about 1.0 to 1.4 million. That's roughly half the audience. Dave Meltzer from the Wrestling Observer has reported that SmackDown is going back to 2 hours starting in June because the 3-hour format isn't working. He says that the shows quietly have significantly diminished over the past couple of months, and I agree with that. So your USA Network, your ratings are dropping. The show's tanking. The show just went through the biggest wave of rosters release in years. 23 people cut after WrestleMania, and now more today, including one of the most iconic acts in company history. And the featured segment on your show includes a Gingerbread Man funeral. If I'm a USA Network executive, I'm picking up the phone. Now, here's where the speculation comes in, and again, this is just me connecting the dots. TKO is in a cost-cutting mode. That much is obvious. You don't release 23 people after WrestleMania and then release more the very next week because everything is going great. You do that because you're trimming the budget, and the New Day situation proves it that they weren't fired. They were asked to take less money on a restructured deal. When they said no, they were let go. That tells you TKO is actively trying to reduce what they're paying talent. At the same time, the creative on SmackDown is getting more and more questionable. The Gingerbread segments aren't elevating anyone. The 3-hour format is leading to filler content, and the wrestling media is calling it out, and the ratings keep sliding. Now, here's the part that really concerns me. When you're cutting costs on talent and the creative quality is dropping and the ratings are going down, that is a dangerous combination for your TV deal. USA Network didn't pay for a show that loses viewers and fills time with costume funerals. They paid for premium live content featuring the biggest names in wrestling, and right now, a lot of those names are being sent home. We're talking about former champions, former challengers, former headliners, former main eventers. Think about it. In the last 2 weeks alone, WWE has let go the Wyatt Six, the Motor City Machine Guns, Kairi Sane, Aleister Black, Selena Vega, Santos Escobar, and now the New Day, Tonga Loya and JC Mateo, along with the group that was formed by Solo Sikoa. That is a massive chunk of your roster gone. That's characters and storylines just gone. How do you fill 3 hours of television when you keep sending people home? Could SmackDown lose the USA Network deal? Now, I don't think USA Network is going to pull the plug on SmackDown tomorrow. No, absolutely not. Even with the ratings dropping, even with ticket sales down, SmackDown is still one of the top performing shows on cable on Friday nights. It has the number 2. It was number 2 on cable the last time ratings came out, only behind the NFL draft on ESPN. But here's what I do think could happen. I think USA Network could stop putting pressure on WWE. I think they could demand better creative. I think they could push back on the idea of gutting the roster while they're paying for the show. And I think the move back to 2 hours in June is a particular partly response to that. WWE knows that the 3-hour format is watering down the product, and they need to tighten things up before USA Network gets really vocal about it. The bigger picture here is that TKO has Raw on Netflix, which is their crown jewel. SmackDown on USA sometimes feels like an afterthought. And if USA Network starts to feel like they're getting the B-show treatment, less talent, weaker creative, dropping ratings, that's when the real problem starts. Not today, not next week, but down the road when the next round of TV negotiations come up. WWE cannot afford to have USA Network feeling like they're not getting their money's worth. That is a dangerous road to go down. Plenty more to come from the Brash and the Briz. We keep you in the know on the hottest, the latest, the greatest, the newest in WWE. What will happen to SmackDown and the roster?